Alright, we're gonna start working on the Skylark. We're gonna do the front end first. Got to get the shocks and the springs out. So hopefully that won't put up too much of a fight. Shocks, just gotta undo the two on the bottom, and then the biggest pain in the ass is the one on the top, which likes to spin the shock rod, or whatever you want to call it, the rod in the center. Then you gotta force a pair of channel or vice grips or something in there to keep it out and just cut it. And then the springs shouldn't be too bad. Undo the lower ball joint. I have a spring compressor and swing it out of the way. Alright, actually wasn't that difficult. I did have to put a pair of pliers or vice grips on this, but just a little bit of clamping force on it and it spun right off. So they must have not put them on crazy tight, but you can see those bushings are shot. These bushings are pretty well shot. But the shock itself, it's rusty. I can't even tell what brand it is. It's a red body shock with a white logo, with I think it's a circle logo with a red center. But the shock itself, it's not terrible. It's not leaking. I could probably still use it if I wanted to, but I'm not going to. KYB gas adjust. Same shock, it's on the front of the Trans Am. Same shock we put on the front of Marty's Cutlass. I think Chris has got these as well. And now they're going on the Skylark. These are like the Cooper Cobras or Cherry Bomb Vortex mufflers of shocks to me. I just put them on everything. Probably here pretty soon gonna end up putting them on the Electra, because those are pretty old as well. Alrighty, got it out. I don't know what I did. It seemed to be stuck in the ball joint socket, and I just turned the wheel and it unstuck itself. So let's lower this. Okay. Alrighty, springs out. Sitting there like that. Supposedly these are 1-inch drop springs. So, yeah. Okay, just got done with the other side. Let's see what it looks like. Alright. Looks to be level. Made sure to clock the springs the right direction. Car's level. Here's all the 1-inch drop springs. So the spring is an inch shorter, roughly, for putting them next to each other. But I imagine they're also a little stiffer. There's a stalker. So now to do the back. Alright, I did end up getting the spring out. I had to take this bar, get it under the spring, pry up on it, and then also kick my leg on this to pull the axle down a little bit so it'll clear that brake line right here. So, alright, got the spring in, and this side was actually surprisingly a lot easier. I was just able to pull down on that, pull the spring out, push the new one in. Now just gotta hook up the shocks. Alrighty, new shocks are on. The very last thing I gotta do is put the sway bar in with the brackets. So, get going. Alrighty. Got the sway bar on. That's a hotchkiss sway bar, by the way. I thought it was UMI for a second, but yeah, looking pretty good. We'll get the wheels back on it, clean up, and get her back on the ground. See how she looks. All right, car's on the ground. Car's got more of a rear rake to it than anything. The rear definitely dropped. Front, not so much. Kind of wish the front would drop more. I'm having problems with this quarter where this rubs the tire, but that should be pretty stiff right there. It shouldn't rub. Now, I would like the front to drop a little bit, but what's going to solve that is big block. Taking out a Buick 350, which Buicks are already notorious for being lightweight, and it's the small block. I'm putting in a big block Chevy, so the front end of this thing's probably going to gain another 200 pounds. I don't remember what they are exactly, but I guess about 200 pounds. So that's going to drop it and level it out pretty good. But I like how the car sits right now. I can live with it. Alright. Got done with all the suspension shit. All the suspension stuff. Alright. Got done with all the suspension stuff. And we're going to take it on a test drive. I actually got done with it last weekend, but I didn't really film it. Just I want to confirm nothing was gonna fall off. So, it's alright. It's a little high in the front, but new big block should fix that. Bring that back down. Just letting her warm up, and I'll get the camera set up. Alrighty, just got back from the test run, and car is way better. There's a very noticeable change in when you hit bumps, when you go around the corners. Before, I think I repeated in the run itself. The car liked to dive into corners and want to skip out on the rear, but now the car just leans over and takes the corner. Or when you hit a bump, both the front and rear hit the bump at the same amount of force. So it's way better. It's a major improvement. Now the car is a little high in the front right now, but hopefully here pretty soon I should be getting that big block 427 back, and I'm currently buying up all the parts to get it in. I just contacted a guy about some accessory brackets. I need to get motor mounts. I bought an intake. I bought a set of headers. Next is just small stuff, bolts, nuts, clutch. Probably gonna try to do a hydraulic clutch in it, which is like $500 for the whole kit. And just tranny mount, small things. So right now I'm piecing all that junk together, and next time, probably next time I get this out to like a cruise, hopefully we'll have that engine in it. Also this weekend, or next weekend, this is the weekend before Thanksgiving, so over Thanksgiving, my buddy Damien's coming over, and he's gonna be swapping the gears out for me. I'm going from the open single legger 256 to a 323 posi, or yeah, 323 posi. So maybe the next video will be on that, doing an acceleration test. And then I think also while the car's down, I want to get a top on this. As you can see, some of this stuff's where the paint's cracking, like this right here. What I assume happened is the people didn't fully seal this car before painting it, and now the rust that was left on top is bleeding, cracking the paint underneath. So I plan to do bed liner, because I've seen a car do bed liner before and it looked really good. You could barely notice it. But the nice thing about it is that all these little pinholes, if any of these pinholes went through the metal, it'll seal it right back up. So bed liner, put the moldings back on, and it should look pretty good. That'll be all for this video, and next time, show you back at this thing.